Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Brendan Hayter, guitarist and vocalist of the band Obsidian Tongue. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? On this episode, I'm joined by Brendan from Obsidian Tongue. This is my first black metal atmosphere guest in a long time, so welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sipping some late afternoon coffee. I'm not sure if you have anything. It's okay if you're doing some water or something.
Yeah, so I do have water, but I thought I would do a fun little variation on the theme with you as a proud Mainer. I have this bag of Wilbur's dark chocolate espresso beans. Yeah, they're very, very good. Made over in Freeport, Maine, and thanks to my wife for letting me steal some of these. This is her bag, but. Something about drinking a whole cup of coffee at 7 p.m. when I have to get up at 5 a.m. just kind of freaked me out. But it's like, okay, like a couple of these beans, I mean, I don't know. I'll be okay, hopefully.
They're full strength too, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is theoretically eating a few of these should be as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, but I've never felt that. You know, I've kind of gone crazy on these before and, you know, they're just kind of sort of delicious and that's it. But you know, I don't know.
I also took the reasonable route and went decaf.
Oh,
so I'm sorry to my listeners for being a poser, but I also have to be up early and I don't want to be spending my night. But I roasted. This is the decaf that my coffee roaster sells, called Balance. So
Balance is the name of the roaster. Mm-hmm. Oh, excellent! Right in Montreal.
Yeah, it's in like we have a borough. Like Montreal has boroughs similar to New York, and so it's kind of in like a borough right outside of downtown. A little more suburban, but it's like a staple in the neighborhood. It's been there for 8 years or so, and it's a friend of mine who started it, and so I'm happy to be working with him for the past year or so.
That's great.
So I've been roasting and I really enjoy it. It's like a fun job, I think, in comparison to what I've done before.
I would say that does sound quite fun, actually.
In Freeport, Maine so I've spent a bit of time in Maine. Where on the coast? It's on the coast, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it's like on the coastal route, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's after Portland, but before Brunswick. Okay. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you ever run into President Bush in Kennebunk or anything like that?
No, but I know the store that you're talking about. I used to go to that store for work because I worked for a craft beer distributor for a long time, and that store, I don't remember what they're called, but they stock the hell up on craft beer, and they have ththese framed pictures of the Bushes everywhere, and like, you know, they're like signed, and you know, it's like, thank you for another wonderful summer or whatever, you know. It's it's this whole thing. Yeah, people get kind of excited about it sometimes.
Yeah, I really love like the atmosphere, like the vibe of Maine. Everybody's very chill for the most part. I love like when you don't let somebody go and they'll be like, thank you, like very passive aggressively. That energy is really good for me. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You get a full spectrum here of, you know, attitudes and it's diverse in a certain way. Yeah.
Also wonderful blueberries.
Yeah.
So if you don't know about that, look into it. People listening. Before we move off of coffee, I would love to just get, whenever you're out and about, you want to try a coffee shop, what's the coffee order?
Black dark roast.
Wow. You're just going full diving off the deep end.
That's all that I ever drink, pretty much.
Are you like a darker the better kind of person?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I remembered better, but me and my family, we did this fun thing during COVID where there's this site called Trade Coffee. Mm-hmm. So it's like that. It's like a subscription, right? And they send you like a cycle of monthly or bi-monthly, like craft coffee bags, and you get to kind of choose like what you like or whatever. And I just put dark, like darkest or whatever. And so I just throughout the pandemic, I got this like steady stream of dark roast bags from all across the country, and I wish I did better at kind of making notes, because some of them were amazing, but I don't know, I kind of sort of just drank it and moved on.
You're one of the I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have to archive I have a freezer, like a drawer in my freezer that has like coffee from Scandinavia that I bought when I was there.
Wow.
That I'm like,
okay, cool.
I'm really going to want this for later, so I'll freeze doses of it.
Yeah.
And my wife is not happy about it, but it's just part of my life now.
There are much worse things that you could be hoarding other than frozen Scandinavian coffee beans. So, tell her that she's a lucky woman.
I don't know if I can pull that one, but I'll let you know how that goes when it happens. So tell me a bit about your journey into metal. What were you listening to when you were growing up?
Yeah. So I would kind of say that we were Led Zeppelin / Metallica household, basically growing up. Like my dad's favorite band was always Led Zeppelin, so he was always just liberally blasting it, so like, I like don't even know what life sounds like without Led Zeppelin. Is kind of like ingrained in there from like, infancy. And then, Metallica, like we all just kind of got hooked on Metallica. Like, my bigger brother predominantly, of course, it's always a big brother, right?
Yeah.
So, so, and then it kind of went Metallica, and then I guess around middle school, my favorite band became Tool. So then I kind of went in that direction, and then before I knew it, I was listening to like Pink Floyd and, more psychedelic and chill stuff from there. Whereas like, my brother kind of went in the opposite direction, but we still like, we still love Metallica and whatever. And, I think he became more of a death metal kid. And I tried, and I was okay with some of it. I still don't really enjoy listening to Nile. That's my hot take. I just don't enjoy the sound. It doesn't make sense. The concept is great. I'm hooked on the concept and the few atmospheric parts where you can actually like decipher some notes, but then it's just a fucking drum solo, Anyway,
it's techie.
Yeah. I appreciate what they do. Don't get me wrong. I just, and so then I guess I don't remember where really it started, but black metal definitely just became my thing. It's like, two different paths, I guess. And, so then that just kind of became the end all be all, I guess, by my late teens or so. And that's when I started writing black metal. I think it was when I was 19 or so. And then it just kind of went from there, I guess.
So were you listening a lot and then going to like maybe bigger shows around Portland? Cause I haven't, or not Portland, but the Freeport kind of area. Cause Maine, the cities are small. Even the biggest cities are small.
Yes, they are. So I should clarify that I did not grow up in Maine.
Oh, okay.
I moved here 10 years ago. but I grew up in Massachusetts.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's okay.
so I was going to all the, yeah, Massachusetts shows, whether at the one in Mansfield. I still call it the Tweeter Center. I know you're not supposed to call it the Tweeter Center anymore because it's had like 4 names since then. But when I was 13, it was the Tweeter Center, so it's still that. And then uh, the Worcester Palladium, of course, was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Lupo's in Providence, Middle East in Boston, and all kinds of venues. But yeah, so yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you were getting, you were getting the shows.
Oh yeah, they were
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I always find it
Yeah.
interesting. Were you into any like philosophy or stuff like that when you were in high school,
Philosophy.
or like even theology? Because I find people who write black metal are like a lot more into like reading, or like they're thinkers. Like Liam, I'm not. I mean, ALN. Sorry, ALN from oh my god, I just blanked the name. Mismore. He's like
Oh
very
yeah,
much like a thinker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because he like wrote a book and everything too, didn't he?
Yeah, he just put a book out, and I mean, some of his lyrics are so emotional. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I think I did a lot more thinking, for better or worse, than reading in high school. I mean, like I definitely like the idea of philosophy,
Hmm.
but it's not like I really got hooked on a particular philosopher in high school. I was more just like I would always just kind of make the conversations awkward by getting really existential for no good reason. When everyone's like, "Dude, like we're 15, chill the fuck out," and that kind of thing. So I was thinking about that stuff a lot, for
Hmm.
sure. I was like kind of obsessed with that stuff, to be honest. Like just honestly, just like death and eternity and the afterlife and God and the end of the world and yeah, like is it happening or not, and whatever, and that kind of consumed a lot of my early years, and I think that kind of scenery and like those kinds of bigger questions and figuring out how to not be afraid of death.
Hmm.
That was a big part of, I think that segued into this type of music pretty naturally.
And would you say that's kind of where you write from now, is more of like the understanding or maybe the acceptance of like those ideas?
Yeah, I do think, I mean, like not all the lyrics are about facing your mortality, but it's definitely kind of there.
Right.
But yeah, then it kind of branches into some other stuff too. I mean, the great thing about it is I think we have a pretty awesome spectrum of of vibes and accordingly lyrics to explore.
Hmm.
But a lot of them are pretty like imagination based. It's kind of sort of I never really wanted to like take a book that I really like and be like, this song is about this book and you're only going to get this song if you go to the fucking library and buy it and read it. I just kind of I like the idea of creating something from the ground up, whether it's good or not. Just kind of, oh, this riff makes me think of, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm seeing a river or something, and then all of a sudden I make something up about a river, or
Hmm.
and then kind of like an ink blot test when it's all said and done. It's like there are things you will see in there, or maybe someone else would be like, oh, this song seems like it's about this or whatever, and
Hmm.
so that kind of gray area I think is the big inspiration too. Like, is it, you know what I mean? Like the weird spaces in between distinct emotions, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Kind of like I've known people that have synthesis, I guess is what it's called, where like whenever they hear music, it's a color, like they see color in their brain or something like that.
Oh yeah, synesthesia.
Synesthesia, yeah. I
Yeah,
haven't heard that word in like 10 years, so
yeah,
I was reaching.
yeah. That one's pretty interesting. And I guess I would need to like talk to someone directly who has that to kind of figure out like what exactly they're talking about or what they've experienced, because I don't think I'm one of those people, but I really do just kind of like letting my imagination run wild and with the music, and obviously associations will start to happen from there. For instance, like you think of a certain thing in your head when you come up with a guitar chord, and then every other time you play that guitar chord, you're like, oh yeah, that's the fucking swamp chord, or whatever. like whatever image. You know, like it's just weird how things get locked in there like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a record coming out with 2 singles already out. From Spiritual Warrior and to Forgive Oneself. Tell me a little bit about the record.
So it's called Eclipsing Worlds of Scorn. We've been working on it for a really long time, and we're really happy with the way it came out. So that first single you mentioned, Orphan Spiritual Warrior, it's the opener, and it's so the beginning of the first half of the record. And we did it's kind of subtle. It's not like hitting you over the head with the concept, but we did split the halves of the album into 2 distinct kind of vibes, I think. So the first half, I think, was easily like our heaviest stuff. And then things get a little more pensive and, dare I say, vulnerable at times, on the second half. And so the idea is inner scorn versus outer scorn, right? So the first one sort of projecting it out onto the world, and the second one's like exploring that within yourself,
Right. I guess that makes sense with like the Warrior title, and then the To Forgive.
Yeah.
Is it more about like so it is more about like self-reflection and then like forgiving yourself so that you're able to, I guess, have a better outlook?
Yeah, the funny thing is, the title and the lyrics, I guess they do interplay a good bit, but I guess the title, I always had it not for like a specific thing that you did. That's the thing is I just think there are a lot of negative states of mind that involve like a profound lack of self-love in general. So it's like what exactly are you forgiving yourself for? It's just like not being perfect or whatever, it's like, it's, I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. It's not a specific thing. There's not a story that connects the whole album. It's that state of mind in which you need to figure out how to love yourself because you don't.
I see.
And then that Orphan Spiritual Warrior is more just, you kind of feel like you're battling with reality all the time because it just doesn't make sense to you. You're like incompatible with it. So it's like you feel like maybe your soul is from somewhere else, like it doesn't belong here, and it's just this really fucked up friction to deal with all the time. I think a popular term thrown around a lot these days is like imposter syndrome. So maybe it's sort of can be connected to that, those kinds of feelings,
It's very relatable.
That's the idea, hopefully.
The whole idea of the what you're saying about like figuring out how to love yourself, I've been doing some yoga for my back, not for any spiritual reasons, but the people that lead you in it, they're usually like focus on your breathing, focus on like being kind to yourself. And so just through me trying to fix my horrible back, I've been having to also learn how to be kind to myself.
Right.
Just by like thinking about it when I'm doing stretches. So I think, there's some cool things there. Yeah,
definitely, man. It's a journey for everyone. It's different for everyone, but So it's kind of, the album comes out May 30th, and I don't know. I guess we just couldn't be happier with it. And it's our first one with Profound Lore, which is, always been kind of a dream label for us. And, so I don't know if you caught the music video, but, my wife and I helped kind of, sort of, but mostly my wife made a music video To Forgive Oneself that we're pretty psyched on. Oh. We kind of honed in on this, almost like 90s music metal video aesthetic, but it's pretty interesting. So I just wanted to mention that the video's out there if you haven't seen it, and we're psyched on that. And
There's a tour.
And there is a tour with Woe. And it's going to be great. I think it's a total of 8 or 9 shows that we're doing. And East Coast. And so places that are close and relatively familiar, but also just by happenstance, neither of us have played these cities in a really long time. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a great vibe because we all, like both of us have played a lot of shows in all these towns over the years, but it's just been a long time. So I think it's going to be a rager. So
is there a particular city that you're most looking forward to?
I'm always excited to play New York City.
Okay. I'm
partial to New York City. My parents are native New Yorkers. Like they're born and raised New Yorkers. Right. So we've always gone there. And, my grandma lived there almost her whole life. And it's just New York City. I mean, what else can you say about it? So it's always cool to play there. North Carolina has always treated us really well. So we're really looking forward to the Raleigh show. And plus one of our favorite American bands, Moynock, is playing the show with us.
Awesome.
They're great. They're really kind of relentless in their own atmospheric way. It's really interesting.
There's very good coffee in Raleigh.
Yep. I'm remembering this.
Counterculture.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've had their coffee.
I'm originally from Georgia.
Oh, cool.
And, the first coffee job I ever had when I was 20 was at a shop that served counterculture coffee. So
nice.
I've never been to Raleigh, but I know they have good coffee because that's where counterculture's from.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, we're gonna go there then.
You should. You gotta do it. It's in Durham, but it's right there.
Oh yeah, that's right there. Yeah, it's the same area basically. So,
but good beers in North Carolina as well. There's so many good breweries there.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about y'all going that far south. Y'all picked a really warm time to do that.
Yep. Yeah, it beats August because we have toured there in August, and I hope we don't do that again.
It's too hot.
I can't do it. Yeah.
I remember growing up, it was 102 with 90% humidity. It's you can't survive. Yeah.
You're kind of fighting through it, punching your way through the heat,
Yeah, it's just a constant state of wetness.
Yeah.
Well, Brendan, this has been short and sweet. I know that you have another interview to jump to.
Right.
Before we go, just let me know, what's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
For beans and breakdowns. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing is, Boston is the breakdown city.
It really is.
So I guess it would have to be Boston because Boston does have a lot of good coffee as well. I was never a full-on hardcore kid, but we lived in the hardcore area, so I've definitely had been to a lot of hardcore shows, and I've seen a lot of penny grabbing dance.
Penny grabbing. You got to start the lawnmower. You know that?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yep. Oh. I think I got hit by the elbow of a lawnmower starter one time.
Yeah, I mean, would not surprise me. I'm very excited because my band is playing the Middle East in July, so we're very stoked. It's like a dream venue for us to play.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a great time. I love that place. So
yeah, but Brendan, thank you so much for hanging out today on this short but sweet podcast.
Definitely, man. Thank you for having me.
Take it easy.
Okay, see ya.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Brendan for hanging out on this episode. Be sure to listen to Eclipsing Worlds of Scorn, the newest LP from Obsidian Tongue, available on streaming platforms tomorrow, May 30th. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.